Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, first off, I want to just thank you guys for all the support on the last video, whether it be the fact that it got more views than I think a video on my channel has in years, or the fact that, there's hundreds of comments talking about my weight loss. I think that that's really cool, and really thank you guys all for watching it. I do appreciate it. It gives me hope that my YouTube channel isn't completely dead. Let's hope that the traction keeps up. Let's hope that this video gets at least some of the views that the other video does. If not, that's fine too. You know what? I enjoyed the victory lap while it lasted. But enough talking about the past, let's talk about the present. What is this video about? Well, today I wanted to talk about something in this game that has been severely underutilized for not just recently, but since the dawn of the game, and that is stunning. Now, I hinted at this in my last video. I said, have another video in the works soon, so be prepared for that. It kind of involves ice in a weird way, but it also involves myth. Try to see if you can figure it out from that, because those two schools are supposed to utilize stunning the most. Ice gets it on quite a few spells. Heck, one of their main spells, Frost Giant, which, 7-pip AoE, everyone uses the 7-pip AoE, it has a stun. Myth has Medusa, which stuns for 2 rounds, and a lot of other spells that stun as well. But that's not even talking about the fact that there's a lot of schools that stun as well. Like Storm has stun spells, Fire has stun spells, I believe Life also has some as well. But my point is that basically every school in this game has a stun spell of some capacity. And you may be like, okay, well that's cool. Stun spells, they can be useful. They skip around on the enemy, which can be useful. It can, potentially save your life sometimes, except it really doesn't. And the reason for that is, if somehow you've never stunned an enemy in this game, which would be an insane feat to have, but if you haven't stunned an enemy in this game, almost every boss in this game has stun immunity at this point for some reason. So today I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the fact that stunning is basically useless, how I would fix it, and really questioning and hoping that Kingsisle sees this. Why is there a feature in this game that is made completely useless? So without further ado, enough rambling, let's get into it. So starting off, stunning. Why exactly is it useless right now? For the longest time in this community, I'm sure you guys know, it's been kind of joked about that stunning's useless because from Celestia onward, every single boss in the game has complete stun immunity. There's not a chance that they won't be stunned. It's complete stun immunity. So an 100% chance that they don't get stunned when they're hit by a stunning spell. And when I say every boss, I mean every boss, whether it's like a random Optio in Celestia or, the big bad Morganth. It makes sense that you can't on Morganth and stuff like that, but these random bosses have no right having complete stun immunity. Now that is not what sparked this video, because that's been in the game for the longest time. Everyone knows it. It's been in the game since what, 2008, 2009? Bosses are stun immune from that point onward. But for a long time, you've still been able to make use of stuns, at least early in the game. Every boss early in the game, you would be able to stun still, which is pretty cool. You have the ability to stun them for a round, potentially lengthen your survivability, stop them from killing you, and generally whatnot. Now, the reason why I liked stunning is because personally, it's one of the only spells I thought that was almost worth using besides the current meta, which that's a completely other video in of itself, how Kingsisle could fix the meta and kind of why the problem started. But I thought stunning was one of the spells that was worth using in some capacity to potentially skip an enemy's turn and live another round. Really, what sparked this video, let me pull this up. I made a spreadsheet as I do. It is a shitty spreadsheet, but I made one as I do. If you guys haven't watched my old videos, I make them all the time, or I used to back in the day. But this right here is a spreadsheet I was making when I was going through the game with my friend, where we attempted to stun every boss in Arc 1, which, as you can see, we didn't finish Arc 1, but we got very, very close. And we attempted to stun them and see whether they had stun immunity or not. Now, where this started is, I believe my friend was playing an Ice Wizard, which if you don't know, as an Ice Wizard, you get the spell Freeze like right away, which is 0 pips and will stun an enemy for a round. And he likes to troll around, he wanted to use it on Alakazam Swift Arrow just for fun. Then we saw that he was stun immune. Now, the reason why this brought up alarm bells is that, as I mentioned, for a very long time, Arc 2 and onward was the only thing that had stun immunity, which, it's still the largest portion of the game, but we thought, okay, Arc 1, it's Arc 1, the enemies aren't stun immune. Well, he was stun immune. So we were like, okay, that's really weird. Let's keep trying this. This went from like trolling around to what's happening here, what's going on. Well, as you can see, we kept stunning, and we kept stunning. And by kept stunning, I mean we kept not stunning, because all the bosses were stun immune. For some reason, they made it so that almost every boss in Arc 1 has stun immunity. Now you can see there's a few exceptions. For some reason, Croc and Common and Timmy Ice Pick were able to be stunned. I have no idea what's up with that. I don't know why exactly they made it so that those two bosses in particular can, but you can see no boss in Mushu, almost no boss in Marleybone, almost no boss in Croctopia, and no boss in Wizard City. Wizard City! Every boss has stun immune. I don't know which KI dev greenlit this, but they're a moron, you know? I'm just gonna say it, they're flat out a moron. And I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're offended, but this is a key feature of your game. Stunning is a key aspect of your game. It is a thing that multiple wizards can get, and it's not able to be used. Now you can see for some reason, Dragonspire, every boss can be stunned. I don't know why. I don't know how that works. Dragonspire right now is the only world in the game where bosses can be stunned. But put that into perspective. The only world in the entire game out of the 17 worlds or whatever is Dragonspire. Now, Grizzleheim might also have the ability to be stunned, but in terms of main worlds, it's just Dragonspire. So that's kind of crazy. Now let's try to get to the crux of this issue. Why would this be implemented? Why would this be a problem? Because to me, it makes no sense. Well, when I talked about stunning in a video about 2 months ago, which I believe it was my video on Myth and why I think Myth right now has the potential to be very good, but isn't because minions kind of suck. I also talked about stunning because stunning is another identity of the Myth school. I mean, Medusa stuns for 2 rounds. It's the only spell in the game that does that as far as I know. Well, someone commented on my video. I'll throw up the comment right now on the screen. They basically commented, the reason why you can't stun in PvE is to stop players from spamming stunning spells. Basically, if you stun, another player stuns, you can forever chain lock the enemy into being stunned. Now, I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, this could potentially be the reason why a KI dev implemented this. Maybe they thought it was unfair to the AI that we continuously stun them. That makes sense to a degree. Well, I'm just gonna flat out debunk that right now. Not debunk that, but shut it down, because it makes no sense. Because first off, already the meta is stale. We are spamming 4-pip and 7-pip AoEs, which I know the answer is to stop that, but it's kind of hard to not want to do that when most other spells are made useless or made less useful. In this case, stunning is made completely useless. There's just no incentive to go that route when you could just hit the enemy. That's the problem in the game right now, is there's no incentive to use these other spells because it's just simply the best idea to go for a 4-pip AoE, to go for a 7-pip AoE. In this case, this wouldn't even be that broken. And beyond that, like it wouldn't be more broken than just hitting the enemy with a 7-pip AoE and killing them, like using a feint on them then killing them, right? But beyond that, this is a very easy thing to fix. Instead of making every enemy stun immune, just make it so that they can't be stunned 2 rounds in a row. It's simply that easy. Just make it so that they can't be stunned consecutively. Make it so that you stun them. Okay, now they can't be stunned until next, like turn 3. That's already what they tried to do with stun block, but they're mentioning here that if you stun again, and then stun a 3rd time, you can stun them 2 rounds in a row, which, first off, it's kind of crazy, the idea that anyone in this game would have 2 people just spamming stun on the enemy, because that's already a wild idea. But I guess this is the case for like specific bosses, which leads me to my second argument here. Just make it so that the big bosses can't be stunned. Why does it have to be every single one? Like, why does it have to be the random war Oni, right? Why can't it be like specifically the end game bosses or the end world bosses are the ones that can't be stunned? Like the Jade Oni, Malistaire Drake, El Meowie Artie. My point is, it's so easy to get around this and make it so that enemies can still be stunned in the game and not add stun immunity to everyone. It just makes no sense to do that. So really, how I would fix this, and I think the easiest way to fix this, just remove the stun immunity. Or another idea, this is a potential idea that I had before, make it so that enemies have stun resistance but not immunity. Make it so that certain bosses have like a 50% or a 25% chance to be stunned, right? because that makes it so that, oh, it's worth potentially gambling to stun them for a round to potentially hold off defeat, but it's not like that for some reason. They all have a stun immunity, 100% chance that they're going to resist that stun. And really the repercussions of this, and what I want to make kind of important in this video, is that this is taking away a specific school identity of two separate schools. Both Myth and Ice are kind of designed with the intention in mind of stunning the enemy. For example, Myth is designed so that you stun the enemy to potentially give your minions more chance to work, or potentially give your allies more chance to go through. Ice is to stun the enemies because they're a defensive school, a tanky school that wants to prolong the battle. In both cases, it is a core tenet of their school, a core part of their school, that they can stun an enemy. But they made it, Kingsisle's made it, so that in this game, you can't stun enemies. It makes no sense from a fundamental standpoint. So really, I wanted to talk about that in this video, and I wanted to talk about how I think stunning should really be changed and implemented in a way that isn't stupid. Again, it's really easy to fix. I don't understand how Kingsisle decided, like they had the option. They were like, okay, we can make it so enemies resist stuns. We can make it so that enemies can't be stunned 2 rounds in a row, but instead they immediately went to every enemy is stun immune. That makes no sense to me. On a fundamental level, it makes no sense. Someone at Kingsisle was like, you know what? This is an issue. Let's just not even throw a band-aid at it. Like, let's hit it with a hammer until it's better, which obviously didn't work very well. So I think that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I really want to know your opinions on this, because I'll be honest, I think stunning is, in my opinion, one of the things I would do the most out of a 4-pip or 7-pip AoE, but you can't. You just simply can't stun bosses. So let me know what you all think in the comments below. Otherwise, drop a like, hit the sub button, even hit the join button if you want to support me financially. You don't have to, but it would be very much appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.